What is up, guys, and welcome back to a new episode here with some pot limit Omaha content, jumping straight into the action on GG Poker, 2 tables of Rush and Cash. PLO 50, guys, if you like this content, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also check out plomastermind.com if you want to learn more about pot limit Omaha. Queen Jack 9-7 on the left fold, and also on table number 2. I'm gonna make the fold. Ace King King Jack triple on the button. Pretty good looking hand to start the session with. While on table number 2, gonna make the fold. Let's see if there will be some interesting hands today. We do get 3-bet immediately by the big blind. And I do think that I'm gonna make the call. Let's take a look into this pre-flop decision where we have Ace, King, King, Jack, triple suited against the big blind 3-bet. I'm gonna start off with 100 big blinds and then also look into 75 big blinds because my opponent was playing somewhere in the middle there. First things first, against the big blind 3-bet on the button, I'm supposed to 4-bet 8.3%. I'm gonna open up the categories to understand better how to play one pair single suited hands in the middle. If we have aces, no surprise, 4-betting always. And with a Broadway pair that is suited to the ace, we see that we're pretty much calling always 97% of the time right away. This is the hand class that my hand falls into. So if I open this one up, Ace, King, King, Jack, we do see the triple suited variation being a call. Now, what I do think is kind of interesting is to also look at the other category where we are unsuited to the ace. And now we do see on the right side a couple of 4-bets, which are pretty much our 4-bet bluffs. Hands like ace, queen, queen 10, ace, queen, queen 5, unsuited to the ace. Also ace, jack, jack 9, like those hands, they do block ace, ace. We need some 4-bet bluffs in our range. And these hands also don't play as great as a call. So therefore, we do pick those as a 4-bet bluff. Let's also open up the 75 big blind solution just to see if there is a difference there, whether or not we start to 4-bet more often. Let's go back to the one pair single suited hands, Broadway. We do see now that suited to the ace at 75 big blinds, the 4-bet frequency increases to 25%. If I open this one up, on the right side, we do see ace, king, king actually being a very high frequency 4-bet. So let's open this one up. We do see pretty much a mix. If we would be triple suited, let me actually filter for that. Then we do see that we're primarily calling, but on the right side, ace, king, king, jack is actually supposed to be a 4-bet in this situation. Pretty minimal EV difference between calling and 4-betting. So I think calling all the triple suited variations is still okay. And then with the single suited variations, we are primarily going to 4-bet in this instance. So pretty interesting. Again, my opponent played somewhere in the middle. So I think the answer also lies in the middle and also in his 3-bet strategy. How tight is my opponent 3-betting? I think it was 3-betting fairly tight. So I think calling against a 4-bet is okay. On table number 1. Beautiful flop, top set. Against a half pot size bet. Pretty draw heavy board. My opponent betting half pot, usually more on the polarized side. Because I unblock all the straight draws and also the bottom pairs, I will get the money in immediately. I might consider just calling with like a bit of a stronger variation. Running it twice. Sure, let's do it. Queen, queen, 6-5. That is a pretty strong hand also for him. And we chop it up. Okay. Interesting start of the session. Table number 2, 9-9-6-4 will be a fold, especially with all these, with these two loose players in the blinds, basically. And I think my opponent played it fine on the other hand, betting the flop and then stacking off against the raise. It makes a lot of sense. Also the 3-bet, queen, queen, 6-5 double. Big blind against the button seems pretty good. Ace 10-3 deuce. Table number 1 will be a fold, even though I have 2 tight players on my left, but the hand is just too trashy. Ace King 9-6. Taking it down with a walk. Let's see, guys. Let's see if we have some interesting spots today. Table number 2, we'll just fold against this player. And table number 1, little bit more tricky. Like, this player seems to be very tight, so I'm gonna open it up and he snap folds. Especially also his 3-bet stat was super tight, so I think it's okay there to try and steal. But again, it depends a lot on who is in the big blind. Then 7-4-4 in the muck. And I will defend King, Queen, Jack 3 single. Table number 1. I will actually raise it up. Flopping 2 pair on table number 2, starting with a check. And on table number 1, I do have an overpair, but I'm actually just gonna fold it right away. And check calling on table number 1. I could consider check raising, but once I get called, like, my hand becomes like very, very marginal. So I'd rather just check, keep his range wide, and take the action to the next street that way. We'll go for a larger bet on the river. Table number 1, getting it in against the short stack player with the aces. Up against King Jack 9-9. That's a good turn, taking it down. Table number 2, 10-10-8, 4 single will be a fold. A bit too marginal. I would open that one double suited though. Queen 10-8, 6, especially suited to the queen. I will defend that hand. Ace high board, pure check. And I will probably check call on the flop. Interesting turn. Actually gonna bet it. My opponent can easily have king, king there, which is still ahead of me, that he doesn't want to bet the flop with, trying to fold that out. The 5 is also a reasonable card for my range, I would say. Prefer to have a diamond there, or a flush draw even. And on table number 2, I do face a 3-bet by Bobo. And a cold call against the 3-bet in the big blinds. We're gonna make the call. And we completely missed the flop, unfortunately. This should be a reasonable board for the big blind if he at least has a reasonable range that he uses to overcall there. But let's see. Table number 1 again against this guy, but I mean, again, let's do it and we take it down. Like, against that player, probably open raising every end because he's so tight. Picking up aces on table number 1. Pretty nice. Gonna raise it up against the limp. And we also have a playable hand on table number 2. Not strong enough to squeeze. If I would be double suited or maybe even single suited with only 2 diamonds, I could consider it. Check the flop. Table number 1. I'm not sure. Pot size bet. Pot size bet. I think I have to call once at least. That's a pretty good turn. Raising on table number 2. And we do now get it in on table number 1. Aces against... What does he have? He have a open ender and a flush draw. Let's see if we can hold. Can we hold? We do. Nice. Beautiful. Very nice. Open ender pot, huh? Table number 2. I'm gonna call. I was thinking to 3-bet, but my opponent is pretty tight. And on this flop, we do have a lot of backup or back doors basically. So I'm gonna peel once and then basically see what he will do on the turn. And on this turn, I'm gonna raise. This turn, I'm gonna raise. Like his sizing is pretty weak. We have a wrap, flush draw, so we have a ton of equity against pretty much everything. That's a good river. 8-5. Oh my god, does he really have 10-8? Does he really have 10-8? It's so weird. I mean, I have to call. Okay. We split it. We do split it. Okay. Table number 1, I'm gonna take a stab with my open ender and flush draw. That's a beautiful turn. That is a beautiful turn. Especially also because the backdoor diamonds are definitely a hand class that he will check call with. But we do bet and take it down. Table number 1. I'm gonna fold. I will also fold on table number 2. Tempting sometimes, tempting if players are playing tight. And I will defend against a single raise on table number 2. Could even be an opportunity to squeeze. Not sure. Squeezing Jack 10, 6-5 double in the big blind against the cutoff raise in a small blind call. This is a little bit tricky, I think. So let's investigate this a bit further. We are squeezing, at least in theory, 6.9%. You can see that on the top right. If I go again to the categories, open up the unpaired double suited hand class, we are squeezing this one 25% of the time. Now, where do the squeezes come from? If we have an ace, we are squeezing 42%. If we are connected, we are squeezing 39%. And if we are disconnected, which my hand does fall into, it falls into the king, queen, jack, high 2 Broadway category, we are pretty much squeezing never. Let's still take a look into what's happening. We do see a couple of squeezes on the top right, king, queen, 6-5 double, or queen, jack, 6-5 double, so fairly similar hands. But what about jack 10, 6-5? This hand is actually supposed to just be a fold. Just be a fold. Squeezing also loses an additional half big blind. You can see that on the right side. So quite a costly mistake actually, and definitely to lose. I need to focus on better variations to squeeze. Let's take a couple of examples. If we go back to the connected hand class and we look into the rundowns, for example, like this is a hand class where we do squeeze quite a bit on the right side. Jack 10, 8-7. Let me remove the king and the queen. So we look at jack high rundowns. Like these are squeezing always, but these are very strongly connected. Jack 10, 8-7. Jack 10, 9-7. What about a hand like Jack 9, 7-6? This is also a squeeze. What about a hand like Jack 10, 7-6? This is also a squeeze. So we just need to be like one pip stronger in order to consider squeezing. My hand is just a fold. Okay, we do get a call. Table number 1, bet flop. Gonna bet turn. Flopping bottom 2 pair. It's not that great, actually. It's not that great. Let's hope he checks. Let's hope he checks. I mean, it's so weird. It's so weird. I think bear bottom 2 pair in a 3-way spot against a lead is just a fold, actually. I think it's just gonna be a fold. Like, he will have so much equity. We have this player behind. It's I don't know. It's a bit weird. But it is what it is. Pre-flop squeeze. I don't know. On table number 1, I check back, turning trips. Turning trips. Could check back once more. We'll call down. Ah, should have bet the turn. Okay, my opponent takes it down there. Picking up queens on the left. Against 2 limps, I will start with a raise. Table number 1. I think this is usually a raise, but with 2 very loose players on my left, I'm actually just going to fold. Table number 1. Start with a check. Could also bet. Table 2, just a call with this pair of kings. A king against under the gun is hardly ever a 3-bet unless you have an ace and you are double suited, I would say. On this flop, against a half pot size bet, probably check call once and then turn a beautiful card. Trying to get a check raise in on the river. Unfortunately, doesn't work. Against queen like this, hand will anyway not call against my bet, I think. And we flopped the nut flush draw on table number 1. This player seems to play a lot of hands. So let's start with marking him. And then we have the bear nut flush draw. I think I like a check. He bets small. Blocking the queen, I'm just going to call. Gotta be careful here with not raising too many of these slow plays because most of your nut flush draws you're going to raise or bet with on the flop. Table number 2, I do call pre-flop. And on the flop against a small bet, I'm going to peel once. Yeah, we do turn a gutter, but I would think my hand is a bit too weak to consider calling. Raising also, I don't think accomplishes that much. Jack 10, 7, 6, single in the big blind. Will be a fold now at least against a raise and a 3-bet. And then 8 deuce will also fold. Let's play some hands here, guys. Let me know if you guys are also playing in this pool. It will be fun to battle it out. King 9, 7, 7 on the right. Will be a fold now for sure. Under the gun raise. This guy plays 20 VPIP, so pretty tight. But I think my hand is connected enough to make the call. That's a pretty good flop. With 2 players behind me, I'm going to check. Unfortunately, they both check very quickly. We'll have to check the turn, king. And I'm going to go for a check call. Check raising is tempting because this sizing is pretty weak. Pretty good. I'm gonna lead out. King 9 and 8 on table number 2. Actually just folding in the small blind. My opponent folds. Unfortunately. King, king, 10, 5. Oh my god, misclick. That was a misclick, guys. Folding kings in the small blind. And king, 10, 7, 6. Table number 2. Against 2 players, these guys are pretty tight. These guys are pretty tight. I'm actually going to check and keep the pot small. Because they are so tight, I do expect them to have more ace-x in this situation. I'm just going to let it go. King, queen, jack, 7 rainbow. I would defend that one against the single raise in the small blind. 10, 10, 8, 8. We face a 3-bet by Royal Castle B. We face a 3-bet. Start with a call. This is a decent board for my range, but not a great board for my hand. Start with a check. And on table number 2, or table number 1. Bet folding. Yeah. It is what it is. I can't stack off there. Could check and then hope for a check back. Would of course be best. King 997 single, table number 1. Would consider raising. Probably a fold. Probably just a fold. Ace king jack 9. This will be a raise from under the gun. And I would also raise jack jack 9 6 on the right side. But I will fold there. 3-way on 10 5 5 I check. And we're gonna check fold. Queen queen jack 8. Triple. Will be an open. And also raising ace king 5 5 single. The ace and the king are pretty good candidates to raise with. We do get a quick call by Lurie. Gonna start with a bet. Best result to just make him fold. Jack 10 8 6 single in the big blind. Flopping top 2 pair and an open ender. A lot of things are going on here, but I'm not sure if betting accomplishes that much. I'm gonna keep the pot small for now. Not the best turn, jack. And the board gets worse and worse. Jack, probably not winning this one. Oh, we do. Wow. We do win, nice. And on table number 2, flopping the second nuts 3-way. Start with a check. I think betting is also reasonable. Unblocking all the pairs. If I use a small sizing. And I will go check call. Pretty good turn. Very quick check by my opponent. I will pot it. I will pot it. Table number 1, ace 8 7 5 fold. My opponent does make the fold. A 10 8 4 deuce is like double suited trash. That's how I would classify this. Looks nice, but it is really not that good. Jack 4 for 3 in the small blind. I think I will defend this one actually. And with my blockers to the board, I'm gonna bet. And fold on the left against the 3-bet. Very good turn for me to keep barreling on. I will have a lot of 5-4 in my range that I bet the flop with. And we pick up equity, which is like very helpful as well. Like usually whenever you continuously fire on later streets as a bluff, usually want to either pick up equity or strong blockers. And you often sort of give up with your complete air that you decided to bet the flop with. And if you sort of keep that rule in place to a certain degree, it will make sure that you bluff with sort of the right frequency, that you don't over bluff, which can be a helpful sort of rule of thumb. Top set, table number 2, pretty nice. We face a lead out, oh my god, by, this player. I think that I would usually opt for a call. I'm still gonna call. Oh my god. I was considering to raise the flop already. But the board is so disconnected. We will have to call again. Jack. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Leads out on the flop. Bets turn, bets river. We do have 1 diamond. Could he do this with the... Oh my god, he has a straight. What the fuck? I'm losing against a straight. Damn it. What the fuck? Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. He just bets complete trash. Jack 7-5 deuce. Gutter on the flop. Double gutter on the turn. Oh my god. Bluff catching. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Didn't see that one coming, that's for sure. That's for sure. Blocker on table number 2. I'm gonna start with a bet. Oh my god. Guys, what do we think about that? Who was that guy? Presmo. Changing the color. Open raising, king 9-4. Single. And we flop a straight. Turn. We have still a straight. We'll check call now. Beautiful hand on table number 1. Checking back on table number 1. Could definitely bet, of course. Calling on the turn. That's a very nice river. Call down, let's see. Picking up the bluff catcher. Check the 9-6. Nice. Queen 9-8-5 double, table number 2. Interesting hand. I think I will go for a 3-bet. Queen 9-8-5 double suited, small blind against the cutoff. Let's take a look into our 3-betting range, because I'm a little bit unsure whether this actually is a 3-bet or not. We are supposed to 3-bet 6.8%. On the top right, you can see that. As usual, guys, we're opening up the categories, going to unpaired double suited, which we're 3-betting 17% with. We are 3-betting most often if we have an ace. That makes a lot of sense. Or if we are connected, we are 3-betting 23%. Now we have a 3 low card with 1 Broadway, and this hand class is only 3-betting 6%. So probably going to be questionable, this pre-flop 3-bet. Let's take a look into what kind of hands we are 3-betting. King 9-8-7 double. Queen 9-8-7 double. So hands that are definitely a lot better connected. Queen 9-8-5 on the top left. This is a 3-bet again. Second mistake pre-flop where I'm a little bit too loose. Let's take a look into the EV difference, which is quite substantial. 0.4 big blinds I'm losing by not folding. Potting is even worse, actually, losing me roughly 0.5 to 0.6 big blind. In other words, 50 to 60 big blind per 100. So definitely to lose. Hard to come up with an argument where 3-betting here is actually the correct play. So I think pre-flop I should have just folded. This is a hand that can also call a 4-bet. Table number 1. Top pair, 2 backdoor flush draws against a shorty. Good turn. Good turn. Let's see if we can hold. No. We do lose against the 3 on the river. Ace 10-9-8 single. Table number 1. Gonna raise it up. Table number 2 against a min raise. I will make the call, flopping the second nut straight. Start with a check. Check call. Okay, so my opponent checks back. Nice. Jack, jack. 50 cent. 50 cent on the river. Jack 9-8-7, table number 2. I will raise. Bit tricky with this guy being short and fairly loose, I think. But let's see. An ace king 9-9 single in the big blind. I will go ahead and I'll just check and fold now. Flopping middle pair and a double gutter. Start with a check. We do have a lot of non-nutted equity. He pots, which is not great. He pots. I think I'll still go for it. Like my clubs are so non-nutted. Ah, damn it. That's not good. That is not good. Pretty good flop on table number 1. We do lose ace jack 10-8. Potting on table number 1. Wrapping the nuts and the nuts only. We do see the call. King is definitely in his range. We do block the 4. King Jack A3, table number 2. Check. And table number 1 is like a bet fold probably. Like he does call on the turn against my pot. We'll definitely have king there fairly often. He will have some flushes, but he will never raise a flush at this point. I think it's just a fold, unfortunately. Table number 2, go for a delay with my double gut or no showdown value. River is the 3. And we do take it down. Nice. Table number 1, ace 10, 8, 3, triple. Gonna make the fold. King Jack 8, 7. I will raise this one. Usually a fold, but like you have a button who plays 14 VPIP only. Big blind is super tight. I do expect to take this one down fairly often. Table number 2, flopping the nuts. Unblocking all the pairs. I'll go for a check. Since I don't have a backdoor flush draw. Can we induce something on the river? Like these guys, they just don't bluff. Ace King Jack. What? Yeah, I mean, looks like a pretty clear value bet to me on the river. Yeah, I should just bet it. I should just bet it there. King Jack 9, 6, interesting on table number 1. Queen 10, 9, 5. We do have a lot of tight players on the right side. So I will raise it up. Table number 2. Table number 1, facing a turn bet. We have a flush draw and a double gutter. Could sometimes even raise here. Gonna go for a call. Ah, misclick again. Oh my god, what happens? 2 misclicks in the session, guys. Running bad. Calling on the right. Big fan. Let's see how big of a fan he is. Will he call down or not? No, nice. Thank you. And table number 2, I do call a bet, but we are 3-way. Ooh. Ace King Queen. Table number 2. Table number 2, huh? I don't know. To be honest, I don't think this guy... I don't know. It feels weird, but I'm gonna fold. Oh my god! Look at this. He was just... should have just raised. Should have just raised. Should have done what I wanted to do. And then I'm talking myself into a fold. Not the best session so far, guys. I don't know. 8865. in the small blind against Rafael Nadal. Look at that, guys. Rafael Nadal in the mix. Yeah, man. Gotta trust your intuition. A653. Gonna raise it up. We do face a 3-bet. This is the same guy as before who was leading out with complete trash and then river to straight. So let's see if we can win back some monies. Oh my god. Check. He probably knows only the pot bet. No, okay. 3/4 pot. Damn it. We have to fold. We have to fold. He takes it down again. Ace, queen, deuce, deuce. Ace, queen, deuce, deuce. Check. And 10, 10, 7, 6 on the right side. I'm gonna fold actually. Big blind is super short. Rafael Nadal on the big blinds. And pocket aces on the left. Pocket aces. Gonna go for the call. Check. Check fold the flop. Interesting river. Interesting river. Do have a small chance now. Aces, kings, jacks. Beautiful. Taking it down. A7, 5 deuce, table number 2. Check. King, king, queen, jack. Oh, look at how tight this guy is. I mean, I still think I should 3-bet. King, king, queen, jack. Flopping the nuts. Beautiful. Do block top pair as well. Gotta go for a bet, I think. Guy's pretty tight, so he will, I think, connect fairly often there. Blocking top pair is not great. Could be like sort of a rule to use that variation to check. And therefore make sure that you have some nuts in your checking range. You do block your opponent's continues pretty heavily. 2 pair, table number 1, bottom 2 against 2 players will be a check. And ace, ace, 5 deuce, 3-betting against the short stack. Pretty good flop. Bet. Gonna call table number 1, but unhappily. I do expect to be behind fairly often. What can he bet? What can he bet? He is in the big blinds. Missed hearts. Ace king, but I block ace king. He will not have that many straights. Gonna look him up. Let's not hope that Barry calls. Ace deuce. Damn it. Yeah. This is what it is. Queen, queen, 10, 4 will be a check call. Wow, look at this. Straight flush. potting or almost potting. Can we go for the jackpot? That would be super fun. Just gonna call. No, unfortunately not. Checking on table number 1. Top set blocking middle set. And on the river, or on the turn on the left, we'll go for a bet now. King 7 deuce. Gonna fold. Any of you guys ever won the jackpot? If so, let me know down below. King 10 6, table number 1. Which we will 3-bet against a short stack player, and that is a 3-bet flop. Small bet. We do take it down. Nice. Cash drop. And ooh, that's a pretty nice hand. I will actually raise. I will actually raise it up. Oh my god. Should we just get it in? So much dead money. I think we should. This guy can definitely fold on the button. Nice. It's a pretty good result. Let's see what he wants to do. Okay, then let's just hit the flush. Hold. Let's hold this one, guys. Diamond. Let's give me a diamond. Nice. Taking it down against ace, king, and queen. Beautiful. Table number 1. I'm gonna call. Let's see how wide this guy. 3-bets 9%. Flopping a gutter and 1 diamond. We will start with a check. King, jack, jack 4. Table number 2. Do have a straight now. Against the Terminator. Yeah, what should we do, huh? What should we do? I will call once and then check. Let's go for check. Check again. Nice. Taking it down. Ace 9, 8, 7 single. Table number 2. Queens in the small blind against an under the gun raise. Usually a fold unless you are very strongly connected. King, queen, jack 9. Triple. Gonna defend. Gonna defend. Super tight big blind. Flopping a gutter. Flopping a gutter. We'll check. Ooh, beautiful turn. Really beautiful turn. Small bet. Against which I will raise. And do win on table number 1. Nice. This was a very loose open, but these blinds are just so tight that let's see how far we can take it. King, Jack, 9 deuce on 2 tables. Can we win both? Can we win both, guys? That would be nice. The way to do that is to open a raise on table number 1 and to defend on table number 2. And I think we have some potential. Betting on table number 1. That's 1. 1 down. 1 to go. I think I will have to check. He does call, okay. We do river the straight. At half pot. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack. I mean, the goal was to win both hands with King, Jack, 9 deuce, so let's see if we can do it. Oh my god. He does raise. Oh my god. Guys. Gotta make the fold here, unfortunately. Gotta make the fold. This is what it is. Okay, guys, that's also gonna be it for this session. Hope you did enjoy it. Running better sometimes. Not the best session overall, I think, but still some interesting spots. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did so, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also check out plomastermind.com if you want to learn more about pot limit Omaha. Guys, catch you in the next one.